Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Josh Culbreth.
Welcome back to News Watch 12 midday, and we have plenty of blue skies across southern Oregon and northern California. Maybe seeing just a little bit of haze off in the distance, and I have a feeling we're going to see more haze, not necessarily from this specific vantage point, but from other vantage points in the News Watch 12 viewing area, as we have some winds that are going to pick up later today, maybe increasing fire activity. We'll have more on that here in a minute. But first, 84 degrees in Yreka, seeing some pretty warm temperatures this midday, 70s and 80s inland, and we are tracking temperatures in the 50s there along the southern Oregon coastline. The Six Rivers Lightning Complex is starting to flare up once again, so that's why we're seeing air quality that is unhealthy for sensitive groups and just flat out unhealthy in southwestern Siskiyou County. We know that the northeastern part of that fire is burning very, very hot, and so that's producing a lot of smoke that's getting pumped into southwestern Siskiyou County. And then also the Rum Creek fire, the smoke from all of that has been getting streamed to the south in most of Josephine County and in western Siskiyou County. So this little section of western Siskiyou County is seeing smoke from both the Rum Creek fire and from the Six Rivers Lightning Complex. So let me show you what this smoke model is going to think is going to happen with the fire a little bit later in the day. So this is essentially where the smoke is right now. We'll have wind shifting out of the north. And did you see the plume of red and orange and yellow? That means that this model thinks there's going to be some explosive fire activity today. And so this model isn't always an exact science. None of this is set in stone, but just know if this does come to fruition, number one, the fire is going to grow. And number two, we're going to see some even thicker smoke and probably some worse air quality in Josephine County and western Siskiyou County. And then we'll practically do the same thing on Saturday, except the cold front is going to pass, and that's going to kick a lot of the smoke to the east side and down into Siskiyou County. But if the winds are just as strong on Saturday, we could see some more thick smoke and more explosive growth from the Rum Creek fire. All right, here's your dog walking forecast for today. That's kind of not a very good segue, but here's something a little bit lighter than talking about fires. This is Ivy. It's a little Rottweiler puppy that is, the owner is Benjamin Olds. He is a producer here at News Watch 12. A beautiful dog, and it's going to be a beautiful day. Hopefully you took her out walking this morning, because as we head into the afternoon and evening, I think it's just going to be a little bit too hot for those paws to be on the asphalt. So for today, lots of sunshine, a little bit of haze like you saw, in temperatures that'll be cooler than yesterday, but still pretty hot, as we'll have 80s and 90s inland, 60s and 70s there along the coast. And then as the cold front approaches, we'll see more clouds overnight and some pretty comfortable temperatures with 40s and 50s on the east side, 50s and 60s for west side valleys, and 50s there along the coast. This weekend is looking much, much cooler in the wake of the cold front. Look at this, mid 80s for Saturday, still some residual clouds, but then we will see those clouds clear out and temperatures going back up in a Sunday. That'll be a pretty seasonal day. And then after that, the temperatures are going to go up and rain chances are going to stay down, unfortunately. And I just have to make a small little verbal mention of it, but we could see a shower or two in the Cascades early in the morning on Saturday, but that has a very small chance, probably less than 10%. All right, here's your 7-day forecast along the coast. Seeing some clouds returning back into the picture next week as the marine layer gets a little bit stronger and will probably get a little bit cooler. For Siskiyou County, tracking the winds today and tomorrow, that makes us cooler, but also it increases fire risk. And then temperatures will increase into next week, getting back to triple digits by the time we get to Tuesday. We're also going to be very hot and dry over on the east side, where temperatures are going to be in the 80s and 90s, but fuel still very dry. Fire danger will be increased. And then for the Cascades, I made a very brief little mention of it, but maybe seeing a sprinkle or two up in the Cascades early on Saturday morning. We'll see clouds and cooler temperatures for the rest of the day, then heating back up into next week. And then for the Rogue Valley, 80s for Saturday, and that's about it. Back up to triple digits by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday.
And I do want to circle back really quickly, and you may not know an answer to this question, to the predicted smoke forecast for later today. So we really see it ramp up near the Rum Creek fire. How do they make those predictions? Is it based on fire activity or just what the current models are showing? Yeah, that is a model that takes into account a lot of information. So that is mainly taken into account how dry we're going to be and how windy it's going to be. So we know for a fact that the winds are really going to be blowing today out of the north and northwest because of the cold front passing. So that model in particular thinks that the Rum Creek fire will really start to grow
By how much of a factor, we don't know, but we know that it's probably going to grow if those winds actually come to fruition. That'll produce more smoke. Obviously, we don't want to see the fire get bigger, and we don't want to see air quality get worse, but that's looking like it'll be the outcome for at least today and tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Josh.
Of course.